Assalamu alaikum. Hello everybody, this is nadir.shembesh. I'm PhD student at Okan University. In this presentation, I'm going to talk about eco-building. This research paper is under supervision of Prof. semih.eryildiz in the course of Ecological Design Principle of Housing Settlements. In this presentation, I'm going to talk about traditional Libyan house comparison to traditional eco-building. I used some other eco-building with different architectural material around the world to support my study. Let's start from index. In this presentation, I have an introduction, the sustainable housing definition, some brief about that, and then the old city of Tripoli. Then my case study was the Libyan house, some brief about the house and how it development. Then therefore the courtyard was the main components in the Libyan house. I explained some brief about the courtyard. Then my support case study, the eco building. Then conclusion was abstract and objectives of study. Let's start with abstract. The city of Tripoli was a great opportunity of the emergence of the arts and its diversity due to the fruit of the city, whose land have witnessed different ancient civilization. In this paper, we discuss the architectural analysis of the ancient city of Tripoli and the selection of the one of the most prominent project in the old city of Tripoli, these ancient houses. It calls HOUSH in the old city of Tripoli, and my case study was HOUSH al-Karamalli. Objectives of the study given the importance of studies in providing a lot of information about the type and styles of traditional architectural and knowing them from comparing different cities and studying them environmentally, whether at the local and international scales. We will discuss through this study the definition of the architectural style of the traditional ecological Libyan house in the ancient city of Tripoli, and its comparison with the building and other environmental homes for some of the cities that support the study in this presentation, and some analysis of the different characteristics in these cities to benefit from. In the second slide was the sustainable. To achieve the sustainable housing in any society, a central role should be given the importance of sustainable housing. The home as a family unit addresses three different dimensions of well-being home, like economic development, social welfare, environmental welfare. In view of the old city of Tripoli, interior space of green buildings are healthy, comfortable, and protective environments. Thus, the movement towards sustainable design is very important in order to eliminate the environmental impact of traditional buildings. Sustainable buildings display a combination of benefits include lower maintenance needs, reduced energy consumptions, increased inhabitants' health conditions, lower cost for special modification, higher levels of design flexibility, reduced environmental pollution. Slide. The old city of Tripoli, the ancient of Trablus, is located in the western part of the Libyan coast, which is located in the north of quarter on the Mediterranean coast and the top of the plain of the Jafara agriculture. As in conclusion, it is located in the middle of the climate of the Mediterranean countries. As we see in the old city of Tripoli was the border. The border was made during the civilization in that era. Here is the function of the building inside the border of the old city of Tripoli. There is multifunction of that buildings. For example, there is a hotel, a commercial and religious and lectural and education, bathroom or hammam, and mosques and house or homes. In this slide, we see the floor of the building. Inside the border was just for one or two floors, as we see the colors for the floors. The out of the border there is from 2, 3 floors, 4 floors and 5 floors. As we see in this slide, most important historical government and public building, I focused about historical houses inside. We have inside the border ancient historical about approximately 25 houses. I chose one of them as a case study. That house was HOUSH Ahmed Basha Al-Qaramalli. In this slide, the Libyan house, HOUSH Liby, or the ancient city, it's called Trablsi HOUSH. Trablsi HOUSH because in the old city of Tripoli, but the other houses, ancient houses in the Libyan, the other different names. These models of the houses is one of the most important components of the houses in the old city of Tripoli. The shapes and size of these houses depends on different considerations that affect the home as well as all the components of the city. Therefore, the courtyard was the main important element in the Libyan house. I focused about it. It can be also classified as one of the important architectural elements for the sustainable of the Libyan house. The function of the features of the courtyard in the Libyan house was health aspect, social and psychological aspect, the privacy aspect, the environmental aspect, the architectural aspect. As we see in this slide, the Libyan house was made from rectangle shape. The formation of the rectangle shape in the beginning formed with the roof and the wall with a few of an opening holes to provide the lighting. The second step, the conceptions of the corridors. The third step, the development the corridor of the space construction to develop the space construction with emergency of being the middle distributor of space added around to make the shape for the courtyard. As we see now, flexibility and development for the courtyard, possibility of development inside and possibility of development abroad. In the figure A, ground floor before addition. In the figure B, ground floor during addition process. In the figure C, al-housh after the addition. In the figure D, possibility of development abroad, above the street. Function and features of the courtyard. Health aspect. The courtyard provides all sections of the houses with the light, air, and sunlight. It makes the atmosphere of the house warm in the winter and colder in the summer season. Social and psychological aspect. The courtyard is where the family members meet and cooperate, a place for meeting. The religious aspect. The courtyard helps the family on having privacy. The environmental aspect. The courtyard has green trees and flower beans and fountains in front of the Iwan. The architectural aspect. The use of the courtyard is an ideal solution to provide a quiet space inside the building. The architectural materials in the Libyan house was the limestone, and I chose other building eco material from other country to make support my study, to make comparison. One of them as architectural material or eco architectural material, stone architecture in Iran. Then the brick architecture in Turkey, and adobe architecture in India, and mud brick architecture in Romania. And I chose the wood architecture in Canada, and bamboo architecture in China, and straw ball architecture in Turkey. To make comparison with the building of Libyan architecture and the different material building, I have done the matrix. I chose some criteria, eco criteria, to make a comparison and analysis and SWOT analysis and conclusion after that. The criteria was architecture. Under the architecture was location and year of project, design planning, building style, construction method. And ecological, under the ecological was the basic eco material, site ecology, building with natural isolation, energy, waste, and thermal effect. Under the economic was recycle, cost effective, renewable energy, and environmental impact. That I have done SWOT analysis like strength, weakness, opportunity, threats, and different each material. For example, in the limestone architecture material and the eco building in the Libya, the strength was raw material are related available, economic building, environmental construction, low energy consumption, good and the air, sun, and shade movement. The construction was good. Flexibility construction was good. It can recycle air and water. But in the weakness, it need regular treatment. It need study. It higher cost. For example, in the opportunity, the house, due to the courtyard, was social and cultural, and the site of the building also was site ecological. Threat, and this material was higher cost building material, consider with different other material. It need the care and to restore it. That's what analyzes for stone architecture in Iran, and this architecture not more different between limestone. Then SWOT analysis of the brick architecture in Durdaniz in Turkey, some different from limestone architecture. For example, the strength architecture, strength for SWOT analysis are materials are available. The building is of high strength, comfortable construction system, good isolation for cohesion, building development, potential, environmental building. But the weakness, difficult modify that building after the construction. Construction process require a long time, require experience in it is construction. Construction cost is high, but opportunity for this material or this architectural material, low energy consumption, unnatural components, harmonical building, and environmental building. And also threat for this material as a threat from the SWOT analysis, high cost, affected by earthquake, it is affected by natural factor, need a severe study, need the infrastructure need to be addressed. After that, we have architecture adobe material in Rajasthan in India. Actually, the adobe not more different, but between adobe and limestone architecture material between Libya and India for make building, eco building. But after that, we have a mud brick architecture, a little bit different between or more different between that house and that house eco house. For example, in SWOT analysis strength, we have easily modification construction and easy of maintenance, well isolation, environmental friendly, traditional building with history and similar building materials. Weakness for this building eco material that the constructions is sensitive, not fireproof, prone to insects and prone to higher wind, and also not known this type of the building. They are not test criteria. Opportunity for this architecture material: sustainable building, energy efficient, earthquake resistant, easy to access this material, and cheaper. This material is cheaper than adobe and cheaper than limestone. Threat for this material: they're not test standard, limited date available. Material are humidity, natural fiber should be added in this material. Building development need difficult to develop them. We have a SWOT analysis for the wood construction in the Alberta in Canada. For example, the strength of the wood architecture is a high level of prefabrication, internal and outer beauty, comfortable housing system, short construction time and construction time, environmental friendly and energy saving, development protectional, ecological and long lasting, good isolation. But a weakness was the construction process is sensitive and protection measure and fire resistance materials. Opportunity, for example, real ecological building, it can be a destination for tourists and environmental friendly and renewable building material. Threats, for example, it was construction cost, high cost, infrastructure need more care and more study, late to make more care for this architectural building. Architectural material, it calls bamboo. Bamboo in Yunnan province in China. Bamboo, some different things between the wood and bamboo. For example, the strength for the bamboo, new model to combine energy saving, renewable energy, the low cost for people, well ventilation. Weakness, a construction process is sensitive and prone for fungi and prone for insects. But opportunity for this bamboo has a long history and easy to maintain, and resource for bamboo easy to find in China. But and also opportunity, forced conservation, reduce use of the wood. But threat, bamboo is difficult to control. A quality bamboo building is more competitive for this kind of the building. In the end, we have other different construction material, Strobal architectural material in Hasandade in Turkey. For example, the strength of Strobal material, easy adjusted, easy of maintenance. It only requires simple tools and unskilled labor, energy efficiency, environmental benefits, sustainable and earthquake resistance. It described by a new artist characteristics, fresh and clean the indoor atmosphere, higher isolation, value of the bulb. Weakness, not fireproof. It needs treatment. It need to be confirmed. prone to fire and wind, but we have opportunity for this wall, for this architectural, good flexibility and strength, building safety. Everyone can participate in building a house. It is made of the shape material, easy maintenance. There is a vision to develop it. We have treats for this architectural material. It needs a straw test, limited date. It is damaged waste. Boarding is often chosen. Building development need major legal entities. This is what we study in these materials and make a comparison and SWOT analysis. After that, we a final classification that I have done after SWOT analysis. I have done a schedule and analysis like a point from 0 to 30 to make like a point from limestone and different architectural material with criteria for eco building to make a conclusion. For example, isolation in the limestone was 12, and but in straw ball architecture was 18, and energy was 18 in limestone, but straw ball was 18, and site ecological was 18 in straw ball, but in limestone was 20. For example, another different thing in thermal effect, let me explain. Cost effective was in Libyan architecture. Limestone was higher than straw ball. Straw ball no cost effection for that. For straw ball was 5, but in limestone was 18. In my opinion, yani, after I have done a SWOT analysis, concluded what I have done. Then after that, I have a conclusion. In the conclusion, through this study, I comparison in the Libyan house with the type of environmental houses with different material, and from different cities. Also, we find that something that like the local environmental, what the difference between the Libyan house and the different other material, and house. The Libyan house was a sustainable or eco building. From the main components or main elements was the courtyard, etc. like this. In the end, I hope explain what I I hope presented what I have done in this semester, and I hope is good for explain or for other researcher. And in the end, thank you for your time.